Grand Prix Facebook. We're joined by Christina Nielsen. First of all, I appreciate everybody kind of standing by for us while Christina met with some of the girls from the Detroit International Academy here. So talk about the event we just did. Awesome to see about 60 girls show up today, talking a little bit about Comerica Bank Free Pre-Day and getting a chance to meet you.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even know where to begin. I thought it was absolutely amazing to see the excitement and see the passion and the energy that all these girls were bringing to the table. It's just about understanding how to channel it and sometimes giving them a helping hand and reminding them that it's important to support each other, be with each other, and sometimes, yes, be your own role model. You can have people that you look up to, but I think it's important to find the motivation and find the energy within yourself to go out and do what you want to do.
And you got a chance to see some of the girls who are going to come to race weekend. So Friday, June 1st, we're going to bring about 70 girls total, some of the ones who couldn't even make it here today, to Comerica Bank Free Pre-Day. They're going to get a chance to come to your garage. Yeah. You get a chance to show them around a little bit. So how special is that going to be? Super
special. I mean, first of all, they get to see the IndyCar paddock. They get to see the IMSA WeatherTech paddock, and they get to be with Ride Motorsport, which is the team that I raced for in number 58, a Porsche. So excited to show them the behind-the-scenes stuff, and today was also a great day. Like Comerica Bank, gave these girls an opportunity to come out to the racetrack, to be a part of here, and plus, here's a female sitting who made this happen. They can look up to her and say, maybe I can be that female one day that makes a difference and inspires young girls like this.
So we got a lot of questions from girls today, so I know you spent a lot of time talking to them after the event. Yeah. What was the most interesting question you got?
What's your number? I actually thought that some of the questions were really good. The thing with how do you balance your work life and your social life, yeah. I think that's a really good one, because nowadays, we got our phone on us all the time. We're always available for phone calls and emails and texts. Yeah. So it kind of collides, and I think the girls are seeing that because everyone has a phone at such an early age. So that was definitely one of the questions I didn't see coming, but I was very glad that they asked.
So we've been kind of promoting this over the last few days. You got a lot of fans here in Detroit, which is great, and hopefully come back to see you race weekend. So we've been promoting it with a hashtag Christina Questions. So we got a few questions that were sent in here. So you mind if I fire away at you? Do you know Sarah?
Yeah,
Sarah Rigsby? So question is, hi Christina, if the opportunity arose, would you like to race in the UK again? What are your impressions of racing at Silverstone in 2016 in the European Le Mans Series?
Definitely. I'm always up for racing all over the world. If I had to pick a series, America is still my favorite place. But, I mean, legendary Formula One tracks like Silverstones are always a nice pick.
So why is America your favorite place to race?
It's just, it's high speed, it's high risk, and, we don't have to discuss track limits, and it's normally really fast and it's flowy. So, as a driver, you really get to feel the car underneath you and get to work with it. And yeah, I just prefer those type of tracks. Road Atlanta was the first track I raced in America, and it's still my favorite.
That's awesome. See you at Petit Le Mans, right?
Exactly.
Would you consider doing this comes from Omar Gonzalez, by the way. Would you consider doing something other than sports cars, perhaps to try an Indy car and do the Indy 500?
Omar, if you have an introduction, I'll be more than happy to take it. But at the moment, I'm very happy in sports car. I'm very happy with Porsche and what they've done for me. But, I'm always keeping my eyes open if there's an opportunity, and if it fits with my current schedule and with my current partners, I would be happy to do it. But my first priority is to make them happy and make sure that we're doing what we need to do.
Got another championship to win.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next one comes from David Headwall. Christina, was there ever a time you may thought about racing rally cars, and do you think that might be a possibility after your successful career in sports cars has concluded?
Same again. I mean, if the opportunity occurred, I would definitely consider it if it didn't conflict with my current team and partners and schedule. Rally, I need to think about it. There's a little bit. I'm always, once we're going, we don't think about safety. But rally, when I watch YouTube videos, sometimes like the off-road stuff, I'm definitely closing my eyes once in a while.
It is a little scary.
Yeah.
From Michael Taylor, Christina, first off, he's a big fan. And who...
God, you idiot. Sorry, that's
oh, wow. That's your friend?
Yeah.
All right. So who is your racing inspiration and why?
I think my dad. He's done great in business and he's done great in everything that he does. I think Tom Christensen is a classic, like Danish representative that everyone admires. He's done Le Mans so many times. I mean, he has the Le Mans winning record, and he's just he's a great example for one who's great in the car and off track. Like, just how he does everything. He's super professional. And Yeah, I would have to say last one probably my old co-driver Alan Simonson, who was a real inspiration in how he handled everything, and I got to see how he worked behind the scenes because he was my co-driver. So those three would probably be my top
Those are
three picks.
great three right there.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. No problem with that. Stick to close to home. Jim Singleton asks, Christina, is your book available printed in English?
Not at the moment. It's something we're considering, but it's not. Yeah. Sorry, Jim.
Soon, hopefully. Let's flip here to the second page of questions. Keith Fansett asks, how is the transformation from cars you previously driven to a 911?
Very different, but I mean, I've driven a bit of everything now. I drove Porsches for 3 years, so that was rear engine. Then I drove Aston front engine, and then Ferrari mid-engine. And now I'm back in a rear engine. So it's been a bit of everything. And yeah, I think for a driver it's great. It brings diversity to your program and brings diversity to you as a driver, so you keep developing your skills and staying sharp. So I appreciate every opportunity I get to drive a new car.
Do you have any preference between them?
Porsche, of course. Yeah.
Good answer.
I raced that for most years.
Christina from Ken Marth says, how do you stay in the zone when you're in and out of the car a couple times during a race?
How do you stay in the zone? That's that's a good question actually. I don't know if you ever leave the zone actually. Like you're sort of like a zombie, like a Daytona. It's like drive, get out, give feedback, go eat, get massage, drink something, sleep, head back into the garage, and at some point your reserves are so low that you're just staying in the zone and you're just there, and you don't really get out of it before you see that checkered flag, I think.
A long time to be in the zone for 24 hours.
Yeah. There's top zone and then the zone. Like there's race zone and race.
Got it. Levels of the zone. All right. This guy, I am Wreck, I think is his handle. Ask a bunch of different questions. We'll throw a couple at you.
Okay. Oh,
yeah. Out of all the tracks that you've driven, what is the one turn or section of a track that you find most challenging?
I think that would be 17 at Sebring. That's always going to be a tricky one. It's bumpy on the entrance when you brake into it. It's bumpy all the way through. You have a bump like right in the middle around the bridge that you go over, and like it's one of the biggest, and it's where you have the most steering wheel input, and you're going on power, and it's super fast. So that would have to be at 17 at Sebring.
That's awesome. One other one that he asked here, which I think is an interesting one. Walk us through any pre-race routines that you have, and what music do you listen to? Do you stretch? Do yoga? What do you do?
Yeah, I think a lot of the fans see me with headphones in. I listen to a lot of music. It's definitely a part of my routine. That's actually something that brings me in my zone. Yep. You get to zone out and just listen to your music, and it's sort of what calms me, because there's always a lot going on the pre-grid before you have to go in the car, and I normally start the race. So, yeah, it's a nice way to just close off and just be in your own little world, actually.
Awesome. Let's see. Didn't we have a couple here from that we got sent in this morning that we might want to ask? See if we get this one. All right. So, we have, what's your favorite musical band from Andrew Ryabus?
My favorite musical band? That's a very good question. I don't think I have a musical band. I don't think I have one favorite. I like a lot of different music, actually. I've actually gone old school. I'm just listening to Destiny's Child at the moment.
Destiny's Child. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. Appropriate here, and with the girls' band.
Like 90s, early 2000s.
And I think is Steve Smith Jr. That's that the one. So a lot of stories have been getting a lot of attention over the last couple of days about the family, sports car racing family, who had a tragedy in Florida. Their house was set afire. A robber broke in. Jordan Taylor kind of actually had a very cool thing that he did. We're giving him the race hat, the little boy, the race hat that he treasured so much, and getting a chance to do that. So I think this actually comes from the father of that young man that says, what's the biggest difference going from Ferrari to Porsche? You covered that a little bit, but we wanted to answer the question.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people have asked me that, actually. It's it's quite different because it is a mid-engine and now it's a rear engine. So the behavior of the car is quite different. I've had to adjust my driving style a little bit. Luckily, both Alessandro Balzan, my old co-driver, and I come from sort of the Porsche school. So that's sort of where our driving technique was developed. So even with the Ferrari, we drove a little bit like that. So the transition hasn't been that bad. But it's the biggest difference would probably be, I don't know. I know what to point out exactly. Like, they're so different. But to be honest, at Sebring, we had a really strong car. And the last 2 years, the Ferrari has been really strong there. So it's hard to say exactly what is, where the strength lies. Because they were both so strong, some of the same places, even though the behavior was just different.
One of those questions you can probably answer better in a few weeks after Sebring, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I need a little bit more time. I've only driven one track with the car, so I need a bit more time. Well, now 2.
Yeah.
But I'll get back to you at the end of the season.
There you go. Mr. Smith, by the way, we're thinking about you, and sorry for your tragedy, and hey, happy that the motorsports community can hopefully brighten your life a little bit more. So last one coming from a fan, Patricio Norabuena asked, what victory has been the most important or most memorable of your career?
I think that would be Sebring. It was our first race in 2016 with the 488, and we rolled out and got a victory at Sebring 12 hours. I mean, yeah, that's just an amazing race to win. It's such a hard one physically, and it's such a challenge, like with the traffic that you have and the nature of the track and the overtaking possibilities, how bumpy it is and how everything moves, how you're always risking everything a little bit, and then to make it through the 12 hours where it's also so physical and so hot, that's definitely an achievement. And then having one of the first victories for the 488 and our first victory with it right out of the box, that was definitely something amazing. Awesome.
So I'd be negligent if I didn't ask you a Detroit question here as the Detroit guy. So success here on Belle Isle, podium every time you've raced here, seems to be a track that suits you pretty well.
It does, but still looking for that victory. I can't go home.
Is this the year?
I have to get it at some point. I'm hoping this year is the year.
So if you do, you're going to have to.
Hoping, never expecting.
That's a good point. If it does, we'll have to figure that we're the good luck charm.
Yes.
You need to come back here.
Every year.
Yes.
What if it goes bad?
Well, we won't talk about that.
Okay, cool. Great.
Good enough. Christina Nielsen, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you guys on Facebook. Again, appreciate your patience. I hope you enjoyed your time in Detroit.
I did very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you back here in June. Thanks, you guys.